Hi, my name is Joe. I'm a fat black belt, and let's talk about that. And the fact that I need to shave. What's going on here? I look like a mess. Well, it's been a long weekend. So first off, let's play food catch up, because I didn't record over the weekend because I forgot. There was a lot going on. It was a very busy weekend. And as a result, food was, we're going to say, mediocre. Not that great. So Friday we covered, let's talk about Saturday. Saturn's Day. The day of Saturn. By Jove. Woke up early, normal stuff. There were donuts laying around the house that I didn't eat. And immediately packed the kids up, went to the park, and man, I got to tell you, so we go to a park basically every Saturday, and that's great. We sometimes we do some forms. We did, sometimes we take a walk. The kids get to play around. This Saturday we did like some one-step stuff and talked through a little bit of like one-steps and movement and stuff like that. So that was really cool. It was really fun. But also soccer season just started, so it was a lot. It was like 8 soccer games plus 2 birthday parties happening at the same time at this park. I managed to secure a table that one other person was already sitting at. She was cool though. I think she was there with her sister for a birthday party. I don't remember her name, but she was chill. So she hung out with us too. That was neat. Making friends. The lunch that was agreed upon was Korean fried chicken, because, quite frankly, my daughter was very demanding about Korean fried chicken, and I was like, we can all agree on that, that's fine. So we went there. I thought I was going to get chicken. I did, I got chicken for later, but what I ended up eating was like just tteokbokki. Good, fine. Maybe not exactly in line with my desired macros, very little protein in the tteokbokki, but it is also really good. So I got tteokbokki, a little bit of rice. That was basically my lunch. I had like one piece of the chicken that I ordered and then brought it home, and I had that later. But also Saturday, we went out to visit some friends across town and hang out with them. A friend of ours was feeling sick and she wanted company, and the kids got to play. And as a result, we ended up eating dinner there, so we basically had pizza. I did the thing where I eat some salad and some sides and sort of reduced the amount of pizza pieces down to 2, which seemed like a reasonable amount of pizza, don't get me wrong. It's just, again, it was a quality issue. The quality wasn't there. Sunday, I woke up and basically had like 1.5 scrambled eggs with some fat-free cheese. Not because I chose to have breakfast, but because I made that for the kids and there was leftovers, and I was like, fine, I'll just eat some eggs. Went in for training, so I didn't eat anything else again until the afternoon, and what I ended up eating was McDonald's, which is bad. And I want to talk about that. I think there are times in your life when McDonald's is an appropriate food, and I think those times are like road trips and when everything else in your life has fallen to tiny crumbles and you're like, fuck it, I gotta get food in me because I haven't eaten anything today, which is kind of where I was, right? Like 2 eggs followed by an hour and a half, almost 2 hours of Taekwondo is nothing. So what happened was I left there and I went to Costco and I got a whole cart full of groceries and I checked out, and then I remembered at checkout, while trying to pay at checkout, I remembered that my bank had sent me a new card, and the new card was a Discover card, which of course Costco doesn't accept. So I walked out of Costco and I was really mad, and I drove home, and then by the time I got home, as I'm pulling into the driveway, I thought, I wonder if they would have taken it as a debit card. The answer, as it turns out, was yes, but I didn't know that. So what I did is I drove to another Costco because it was slightly closer than this one, and I went in, and then I just bought like cashews because we were out. My wife loves cashews. So I got her some cashews, used my PIN, that worked. Then I had to walk the cashews out to the car, walk back into Costco, redo all my grocery shopping, and leave the Costco. And by that point in time, it was 6 o'clock. I had eaten an egg and a half. I was about to go home and unload groceries and do a lot of laundry, and I was like, no, fuck this. And so I got McDonald's and went home. Fine. Not the end of the world. We are also, by the way, out of Yasso bars, and you can tell because I got a small blizzard. Hate it. So I'm going to get some more Yasso bars today. To be fair, let's take a look. I want to take a look actually. Before I kick my own ass, let's take a look at the calorie difference between a small blizzard and a Yasso bar. Let's see. I'm not going to put them up on the screen. I'm just going to look with my eyes and talkie with my mouth. So as anticipated, it's a lot. Look at this. A small blizzard, 560 calories. Yasso bar, about 100. Huge difference. Massive difference. Now, whatever, I'll survive. But the level of satisfaction that I get from either is about the same. Real quick, let's talk about how food has been going today, just so I can close this thing out because I have a work meeting to get to. Basically, it was a nothing sandwich. I had like a half a granola bar until lunch, and lunch was I had some leftover chicken tenders that I warmed up because I was like, I guess I need the protein. I hit them in the toaster oven, and then I had that with, I redid a bunch of the oats and lentils, which is just like bulk plus fiber plus a little protein. And that the kind of the oats and lentils thing is just to like fill me up without being gross. Other thing I wanted to talk about as far as food goes, while I was at Costco, I got these roasted beans. I got these roasted beans, 3 Farmers. These are the crunchy fava beans with sweet chili. They also have the ranch chickpeas and the salt and lime chickpeas. And if you have the opportunity to try these, fucking skip it, because they are terrible. They taste like burned beans, and they're bad. I tried all 3 flavors last night. Every single one of them was worse than the one before it. If I had to eat one, I would eat the ranch, but I don't have to eat one because I'm a grown-up, so I threw them the fuck away. They're awful. That was a waste of $11, which is not the most expensive purchase I wasted in my life, but I don't know, maybe I should have looked up some reviews before I bought them. I was just walking past and I thought, crunchy chickpeas, that looks like a good snack. They're fucking terrible. Skip it. Let's talk training. Yesterday at Taekwondo, a lot of forms, whole lot of forms. Got through them all, and then went and taught some bat defense and stuff like that. And one of the things that we talked about was making sure that you have a reason for the things that you do, right? So like when we do an X block, the idea is, she likes to see the backhand on the bottom. The reason you want to see the backhand on the bottom is not just because it's flashy, it's because it gives you about 8 times more power, right? Like as soon as you switch those hands, power's gone. So that's all biomechanics stuff. But one thing I learned yesterday is, so we usually do the bat stuff with both people. We do this in an open stance with both people sort of facing the front of the room. So my left foot forward, their right foot forward. A lot of our bat defenses. And one of the reasons we do that is because there's a bat defense that involves like a side kick, and you're bunched up pretty tight. It's like the idea is it goes right through the other person. It's a pretty vicious side kick. And we were talking about it yesterday, and she said, well, the reason I teach it to you guys that way is because if you do it the other way, you can get kicked in the appendix. And that is glorious to me. I love, my instructor, by the way, doesn't have an appendix, or her appendix ruptured, and it was ruptured for a long time, for quite a while, before they got around to it. So she has a bad history with appendices, and so she is more sensitive to that than other people. But yeah, it's a very good point. Like you know, when you're doing and of course none of this applies out on the street. If some dude takes a bat to you, destroy that dude. Kick him right in the appendix if you can. Kick right through his spine. But in training is not the same, right? And you don't want to teach kids to be kicking on that side of the body, and then find that you are in danger of like rupturing their poor little bodies. So, and even for adults, because we don't think about this stuff, and I know some adults who go too hard. That's a topic for another day. One of the things we talked about on Saturday was the amount of contact and the amount of aggression and the amount of impact that is appropriate. And I have whole theories on it, but today's video is already long and I have a meeting to get to, so we're going to talk about that later, maybe tomorrow. But yeah, that's how training went. It was good. It was also exhausting. I was wrecked. I felt great. I do that to myself, right? I don't have to go hard on forms. I just do. Forms are one of my favorite things. So that's all I have, and I will catch you. My finger just fell right out of frame. Later.